Alrighty folks, thanks for tuning back in. Got a special one for you today. Benelli M4 H2O 2019 edition, and this is the new Sulun Arms Tac-12 brought in by SDS Imports. So, got my buddies out here, we're gonna test them out, see if they're as similar as they seem. So I got my two buddies here I've been shooting with. This is Dr. Fuzz, his Bearman Bravo. Personally, I had the most experience with the Benelli M4 out of everybody. I have no military experience, I have no law enforcement experience. I'm just, a dude. I like to shoot, I like, fun guns. So SDS does bring in two Tac-12 clones. I only recommend the Tac-12. I've done a bunch of research on them. Hopefully there's more to come out because it seems these haven't been in America for too long. These seem to be rather new to America, the Turkish Benelli clones. The Benelli M4, I should say, the Benelli M2 clones have been coming in for a while. So I hope to bring a lot more data. I'm going to get these guys. I do also have another friend of mine who is a Marine. Just to go back on backgrounds, I did kind of skip over that. So my buddy Dr. Fuzz and I, we're just average dudes. Neither of us have any military experience. Neither of us have any law enforcement experience. We're just Americans that enjoy our rights. You want to introduce yourself
Sure.
on that level?
Bearman Bravo, that's my gamer tag. Catch me on COD. I have some experience in the Army, which is another way of saying I have very little experience with shotguns.
He's airborne qualified. He's humble.
Hell yeah, all the way. I fired the M26. The M26 is a Ruger 1022, which shoots 12-gauge shotgun shells. But yeah, my experience with small arms. I am a small arms repairer, 91 Fox series. So I do have relatively extensive experience with the mechanics of military firearms. In terms of kicking indoors, I don't have experience with that. Although I have some coworkers who I listen attentively when they talk about their experiences. Again, like I said, minimal experience with shotguns, rifles, handguns, machine guns, light artillery. That's my area of expertise. It's been a joy to actually shoot this because I do want to have more shotguns in my life. I think that one of my big takeaways, and I'm segueing a little bit here, one of my big takeaways here is that this seems to work for random junk drawer ammo.
It's not as picky on ammo.
It seems to be based on our sample size. So as we were driving back to the range, the comment I made to these guys was, if I were to all of a sudden hear a bump in the night, grabbing just random shotgun shells from, mother-in-law's junk drawer. Yeah. This is the shotgun I want. The Tac-12 rather than the Benelli M4. Is that because the recoil springs are a little bit weaker? Is it because this example is a little bit more lubricated? I'm not quite certain.
We'll find that out though. We'll do some more shooting. This is just part one of this series. We're hoping to do a 5-part series on this shotgun. Really give you guys a deep dive. All right, folks. So I got her loaded up. Still has the fake extension on there, so it only holds 5 in the tube. I have it ghost loaded though. It's alternating bird and buckshot. So let's see how it goes. Locked open, no issue cycling both bird and buck. All right, so now we got it loaded with only bird shot. I have my buddy holding the real Benelli for me, so I'm gonna fire 5 bird out of this, then follow it up with another 5 out of the real Benelli, same ammunition, same load. So let's see the difference. Locked open, no issues with that bird shot. Again, genuine Benelli. This is the H2O variant, but it's the same operating mechanism. The only difference is the coating on there. So again, 5 rounds of the bird. Look at that, the real Benelli choked on it. Again. Two failures on a genuine Benelli M4. Genuine H2O, absolutely brand new. Very interesting. Let's see how this test keeps going. All right, so now we have both guns back. This time, instead of the 1,200 feet per second 3-dram number 8 bird shot, which is what our last load was, this guy right here. Now we're loaded with the Lambro Guard buckshot, 325 feet per second, 9 pellets. Let's see how this one does. Turkinelli, no issues, locked open. I'm gonna grab the real Benelli and see how she does. So again, same ammunition, same load. We did have them birdshot malfunction, so it's gonna be interesting to see if this runs. It should. No problems whatsoever. Pretty much even recoil as well. So basically the same thing when it comes to the buckshot.
All right, we got the 9 pellet buck again. Last time this ran flawlessly in both weapons. This is my first time shooting either. First up is going to be the Turkinelli. All right, no issues. I'm going to switch over to the Benelli now. All right, no issues with that either.
All right, so we're gonna run the birdshot this time. Also my first time with this Turkinelli. Let's see how she goes. Bolt locked open, good to go. I'm gonna switch to the Benelli. One failure to feed, but bolt locked open. Seems good to me. All right, so this time, well, last time I was running that bird shot. We're gonna go 5 rounds of that 9 pellet buckshot this time, so. Man, that is smooth. Bolt locked open, all good.
All right, folks, so I have a fully loaded tube in here right now. As you can see, shell won't go in. So I wanted to demonstrate ghost loading. It's actually pretty important on a shotgun like this because you increase your ammo capacity rather substantially. You know, with this fake extension on there, you only get 5 in the tube, 2 3/4, mind you. You'd only get 4 3-inch shells. What you can do to increase your capacity is you cheat the bolt back and you drop a round down onto the lifter, okay? Now see there, I went too far. So it kicked it in the chamber. What you have to do is, it can be a little tricky, but when you get the bolt in the right position, you can drop a shell onto the lifter without getting in the chamber. And then you can take another shell, put it in the chamber like that. So now I actually have 7 rounds in the shotgun. Very important on the Benelli. Obviously not something you're gonna do like in the middle of a fight, but anytime you're just prepping the weapon, especially for like home defense, great idea to keep it like this. All right, folks, so got the gun ghost loaded here. I just want to demonstrate it will function. So again, you're gonna see 7 shells come out of this gun. 5-round tube, 1 on the lifter, 1 on the chamber. In the chamber, excuse me. No malfunctions.
You could really feel the difference between those 2 loads.
So I'm not actually sure what happened here. Again, I'm new to this manual of arms. I did have it ghost loaded. I'm not sure if there was something I was supposed to do. I'm guessing this is one of the things which can be corrected. Yep, so I just pushed the lifter down and it did chamber around. So we'll go ahead and discuss what happened there later. I was firing weak-handed. I don't see why that would make a difference, but we'll go ahead and try to do that again. All right, it did lock back. Something I should have been doing, which I didn't, is actually noting which cartridge that failed to cycle on. We'll go ahead and look at that in the video and discuss it later. All right, we did get a malfunction there. Obviously, I was firing it upside down. The point of that is to induce malfunctions. That is what happened here. We'll go ahead and chamber that round and try again. That was a 9-pellet buck that fired with a bird shot that did not chamber. Pretty easy. I'm not familiar with this manual of arms, and that was a pretty easy malfunction for me to correct. And that time we actually did get the round to cycle. Let's try to go ahead and do that one more time, shall we? And we do seem to be cycling again. And bolt held back on the last shot.
All right, so we pretty well confirmed function. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pattern it. So if you look at the target down there, I would say we're approximately, I don't know, 10 yards or so. Pretty close, good shotgun range, but not point blank. So I'm gonna fire one round, let's see what she looks like. All right, let's go check it out. So at that range, those 9 pellets, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is an improved cylinder choke, and as you can see, that's pretty large dispersion. You know, if you're talking from corner to corner, that's about 8 inches. Center radius, you're looking at about a 4-inch group pattern. So maybe not the best choke, maybe not the best load for this gun, but it is working. All right, so that was a pretty far pattern. Gonna pattern it off about 7 steps. Now, as you can see at that distance, that's more the pattern we're looking for. Had that been a real prairie dog, we would now have a prairie dog slushy on the ground.
All right, something that I noticed while shooting these is that the recoil impulse on the Benelli seemed significantly lighter to me than on the Turknelli, and I suspect that's because I really have very little experience with shotguns, and viewers may have noticed in the first couple shots I had a really lazy stance. I'm used to shooting M4s, stuff like that, and I had a lazy stance and I let the gun push me around. So what I'm going to try now is single shots out of the Benelli and the Turkish shotgun and see if I noticed that same thing or if maybe something else was going on. All right, safety on, switching out. Safety on, switching out. And of course, these are shooting the same loads. Again, this is the 9-pellet buck. All right, this weapon is clear. All right, and I can tell you immediately that my perception in the recoil difference between the two was entirely due to my technique or lack thereof. They're about the same, maybe a slight edge actually to the Turkish gun because of that recoil pad.
All right, folks, so my buddy was pointing out that there's some weird stuff happening. We're getting hit with some material. So I was thinking it was some birdshot bouncing off the tires, since we're shooting big, thick tractor tires with birdshot and we're only, I don't know, 10 yards or so away. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna slow-mo the action. What I have is I have birdshot in the chamber, I have buckshot on the lifter, I have another bird and then another buck. So 2 rounds of each alternating. We're gonna get up close and get some slow-mo of the bolt carrier. Let me know when you're good.
But suffice it to say, this thing has been, based on our studies so far, a more versatile shotgun. Now, I'm not going to lie. If I was going to Syria tomorrow, I'm going to go with the Benelli based on reputation.
And all you're gonna be shooting is buckshot.
All I'm going to be shooting is buckshot, possibly slugs.
You're right.
And additionally, it is worth noting in all of this that the Benelli feels more solid.
It does, without a doubt.
Does that translate to shooting performance? No, it doesn't. This stock feels cheap by comparison. However, this stock has a rubber recoil pad which works.
Yeah.
And
Very,
the
very
Benelli
effective.
recoil pad is less effective. If I were to take them by the barrel and smack them into a tree repeatedly, I think the Benelli would last longer.
I agree. I agree.
The Benelli is proven, and yet for like right now, I need to grab a shotgun. I'm going to grab this one.
Right.
Because we know that right now, this one seems to work with the ammo we have available.
Exactly. Yeah. And just, you know, kind of to surmise what he's going on there, this is a good gun. You know, it's not some cheap clone where it's going to break in your hands super quick. I do agree with him. The Benelli is more overbuilt. It definitely, in my opinion, uses better material, specifically the receiver. I've done a lot of machining on aluminum. This is definitely 70-75 aluminum. I don't think there's any question there, but just handling a bunch of aluminum in my life.
This is a 70-75 receiver?
It is a 70-75 receiver. Both of them have a 70-75 receiver, but handling them, you can just feel the beef on the Benelli 70-75. I don't know if they use a proprietary type of aluminum. I know 70-75 is kind of in and of itself a category, so it couldn't be too proprietary. But just personally, and again, I haven't done any like metallurgical deep dive, I haven't done any like hardness gauge tests or any sort of tensile strength. Just personally handling it, shooting it, this feels like lower quality material. Again though, to reiterate, the cheapest you're getting your hands on a Benelli M4 is like $1,800, probably closer to $2,000. This is $600, $650. I mean, that is a huge point here.
It's a $650 shotgun, which in this moment I would prefer to the $1,800 minimum shotgun, which is off camera.
Correct.
And that's noteworthy.
That is noteworthy.
That's an accomplishment in and of itself.
Yeah. And a guy like me, a guy who just wants to run around and shoot the hell out of this thing, you know, and I already got a scratch here and a nick there, like, that doesn't bother me on this, you know?
And there's the real question of, you know, I made the reference earlier of like home defense versus deploying to Syria.
Exactly.
That's a relevant distinction.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Overbuilt,
huge difference.
Overbuilt is cool. I like overbuilt. But at the end of the day, if someone's purchasing something for taking to the range and shooting inside of their own home, God forbid, then you don't need Syria reliability.
You know, I don't have a whole lot of experience with shotguns outside of...
You have the most of all of us.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I started with a pump action 870.
Yeah, and you ran that for years.
And I ran that thing for years, I did. But as far as self-loaders go, I only have experience with this guy here in the Benelli M4, but as far as having it out in the field and, you know, seeing what its capabilities are, the fact that we had more malfunctions with the genuine Benelli than we did with this Turkish clone here. That says a lot. And going back to what Bearman said about, you know, grabbing whatever shells you got in the drawer, if the first shell you throw in that thing is a birdshot and it fails to cycle, like, you're toast, man.
Yeah.
So as far as, you know, being able to cycle whatever you throw in it, I don't see any better option.
Yeah, that would definitely do the job.
Yeah. So we really appreciate you guys watching. You're going to see more of these two fellas. They're going to be doing this whole series with me. Again, I'm hoping to do about a 5-video series. So this one is our introduction and our initial impressions. Next couple of videos are just going to be us shooting the hell out of this thing, you know, seeing what we can do with it. I'm probably going to get about 250 round or 200 round case. I don't remember what slugs come in. I think it's 200 round cases, but I'll probably grab a 200 round case of some slugs, and we'll run out, do some slug shooting. Oh, to clarify, something I wanted to state. So I might have said it in one of our shooting videos earlier, but this came with, and I have installed, the improved cylinder choke. So everything I do with this shotgun going forward, it's all going to be improved cylinder choke. I am going to replace this limiter. You know, I'm an American. I'm not going to be limited. So we're going to get that limiter out of there. We're going to have 7 rounds in this bitch, get it up to 9. So it's going to be great. I really appreciate everybody tuning in, and please continue to follow. We'll bring you much more great content. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Smash that like button.
That's right.